Okay, let's head over to London, where Ian Lee is standing by. Ian, you're following a couple of stories for us this morning, including new coronavirus restrictions in South Africa. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Jeff. Some might see steps South Africa is taking to curb the coronavirus as extreme, but the government says they're necessary. The country is the first in Africa to record more than 1 million cases with nearly 27,000 deaths. Health officials are blaming a new variant of the virus that's more contagious. To put the brakes on the rapid spread, the government has extended a nationwide curfew, including the canceling of events. Some of the other measures include the closing of parks, beaches, and swimming pools, as well as the banning of the sale of alcohol. And that last one might have you scratching your head, but the government says alcohol intoxication leads to reckless behavior, which contributes to an increase in transmissions. And this isn't without precedence either. South Africa has banned liquor sales before and says trauma cases in hospitals dropped 60%. Next, we are in Argentina, where the country could make history today. The Senate is scheduled to vote on a bill that would legalize abortions. Activists are optimistic, believing they have a slim majority to make it law after it was approved by the lower house earlier this month. This would be a seismic change in Latin America. The region has some of the strictest laws when it comes to abortion. Leading the wave of change is the country's left-wing president and vice president, but passing the, quote, voluntary interruption of pregnancy bill isn't a foregone conclusion. It'll likely come down to 5 senators who, so far, are officially undecided. This next story hits home. Reporters Without Borders reported 50 journalists were killed in 2020. It may surprise you that the majority didn't die in war zones. The watchdog says 84% were targeted in, quote, barbaric murders. These were reporters who were investigating organized crime, corruption, or environmental issues. Some of the deadliest countries include Afghanistan, India, and Pakistan, but it was Mexico that topped the list with 8 killed. Many were investigating drug traffickers and corrupt politicians, and to make it worse, no one has been punished in these cases. Reporters Without Borders also highlighted what it called the historically high number of jailed journalists at 387, and also expressed concern over the developing trend of violence against the media covering protests in the U.S. and France. Finally, we are ending back here with Brexit. The UK and EU sealed a trade deal in the 11th hour last week. Now it goes to parliaments across Europe and here in London for final approval. EU ambassadors gave the provisional application of the deal the nod on Monday. This gives them a bit more breathing room to look over its roughly 2,000 pages. They can then formalize the deal later next year after the January 1st deadline. Meanwhile, here in Britain, the Parliament and the Prime Minister hope to ram through the bill tomorrow. It's a tall order, but the government is confident it will have the votes to get it approved. Jeff, this is obviously something people living here have been watching closely. I know a lot of folks, admittedly, including myself, who've been stocking up in preparation for a no-deal Brexit and the chaos that would follow. While a little bit is expected with this deal, it's nothing compared to what could have happened if the UK crashed out of the EU.
That's a good point. But I want to go back to something that you said, because every day I talk to you, you reveal something new about yourself. You said you're stocking up just in case. Is that like, you know, here in the U.S., we stock up with a hurricane coming. Obviously, people were stocking up during the pandemic. So what did you stock up on? Because I would have stocked up on desserts or something. What did you stock up on?
Oh, man. Well, Italian and French wines were high on that list.
Okay. All right. See, now we know. All right. See, revealing something else about yourself. All right.
Just a little bit.
Ian, thank you very much. Good to see you again.